Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us today on Comics from the Future. This is our show where we're going to preview the latest and greatest new comic series, awesome covers, and things we don't want you to miss on FOC this week, Final Order Cutoff. In case you don't know, my name's Megan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Jason. We're with infinityfluxcomics out of the lovely Chattanooga, Tennessee area.
Yes, and please take a second and comment below. Let us know where you're watching from. And while you're there, make sure to like this video and please subscribe to our YouTube channel if we think you'll find this content useful. So, all right, some things to note this week. There is no DC. There was double DC last week, so if you want to go check out that video, you can. But because of the Juneteenth holiday, there is no DC FOC this week. Also, because of that holiday, probably be smart for you to get in your orders with your comic shop on Sunday, just to be safe.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of stuff this week.
There is. It's still a pretty good week despite no DC comics. So let's begin with our featured comics, starting with, surprise, surprise, one from Marvel. It is Axe Judgment Day. And I'm not talking about the cologne that I spray all over every day.
I mean, new flavor of Axe Judgment Day.
Wow, that's a severe one. So Axe stands for Avengers X-Men Eternals. So it's going to be a crossover series between those three groups where they're sort of angry at one another. Now, how could this be? The X-Men, everybody who's been reading that ever since they have Krakoa, they have been able to sort of defeat death. They have a way that if you die, they can bring you back to life. Well, it took a while, but the Eternals have finally found out about this. They see it as a deviation, and so they're going to attack the X-Men. They're going to try to shut them down. But it's not just going to be a battle. Apparently, all the X-Men secrets, which there are numerous secrets at this point,
oh gosh,
get revealed to the Avengers. So the Avengers are not happy about things as well. So one of the mysteries is who revealed the secrets. I'm guessing it was an Eternal or somebody with an Eternals link. And it also in the solicitation it says, and why does Tony Stark kidnap an old friend? I'm assuming an X-Men.
A surprise birthday party?
I'm trying to think of what X-Men Tony Stark might
I don't know.
be considered an old friend to that he would kidnap. Anyway, this is a big 6-issue crossover series. That is sort of what's going on in this. It looks like all the X-Men secrets are coming to a head. I was kind of wondering, it's like how long are they going to leave Krakoa the way it is?
Yeah.
And how long will X-Men be able to be brought back to life? I think the days of the five mutants who bring people back might be numbered.
Yeah.
That's my estimation on this. So we have several different covers. This, of course, is the main cover. Then we have a GLEASON variant. We have a MOMOKO variant. A Ron Lim variant. And lastly, a WERNECK Women of Axe variant.
And she's holding an axe, so perfect.
I see that.
Okay, next up is Artist Elite #1, or Artist Elite Presents #1. So we had previously on other shows talked about Artist Elite Primer Red and Artist Elite Primer Blue. It's a lot of words. Which were kind of little sample books you could get leading up to this, but this is the actual kind of anthology style book. So in this first issue, you're going to get the first part of the story with Ali Garza, which is the Sandwenches. As you can see, the dill pickle character on there, as it's made up of a team of all sandwich themed characters. You've got Brett Booth's Lost Serpents, and you have Tyler Kirkham's Final Boss. So in that primer, we saw a bunch of different stories you're going to do over the course of this series, but it's going to be broken up in three stories per issue. But this is kind of the first official book from this Artist Elite publisher. I'm very excited about it. They've got really big names on it. So don't know a whole lot about the stories inside other than their titles and what we got in those primers. But super cool covers here. So we have the A cover, then we have the Booth cover. So each of the artists' covers kind of reflect their story. We have the Kirkham variant and the Garza variant as she sits on a mound of pickles. I don't know how you wash that out.
Yeah, because don't you usually use pickle juice to get rid of odors? But what
Yeah.
if the odor is the pickle juice? I guess you get a skunk to spray you. That's the only way to combat it.
Alright, next up from Marvel is Defenders Beyond. This is written by Al Ewing with art by Javier Rodriguez. This is going to be a 5-part miniseries, and they are not being very subtle with the Beyond because it seems like the big villain they'll have to come up against is the Beyonder. So in this, Doctor Strange sends out a dire warning to the team from beyond the grave, and they'll have to band together to defend reality itself. The team is going to consist of Loki, Blue Marvel, America Chavez, Tigra, and a couple others. So pretty cool. And I got a few different covers. You'll see what I mean. Yes.
I wanted to mention, so this is a wraparound cover.
Oh, okay.
So,
It looks very 80s.
Yes.
So the back is actually this.
Nice.
Yep.
So that is our cover A. And then we have the Bustos Stormbreaker variant featuring the team again. Then we have the Noto cover.
I'm just glad to see America Chavez.
Yeah,
like,
America
in
and
more
Doctor
things.
Strange together
Yeah.
again. This is the Romero spoiler variant.
I don't know if we're too spoiled from that.
And then the Ron Lim teaser.
Like there's a teaser and a spoiler, and they both are spoilers and teasers.
they're stepping on each other's toes.
Okay, so this is a new mini-series from Image Comics called Above Snakes. It's going to be 5 issues, and so it declares itself a wild-as-hell Western colliding with fantasy. So I like the premise of it. Basically, there is a man who is roaming around seeking vengeance for his murdered wife, and he has a talking vulture who kind of urges him on. You know, like when he feels down, the vulture's like, "No, you gotta do it. You gotta do it." So I think that sounds like a pretty interesting premise. This is from the same creative team that brought you The Few and the other series Thumbs. So that's what's going on in Above Snakes, 5-issue miniseries. This is a regular cover, and then there's also going to be a blank sketch cover.
Okay, next up is one, it's not a number 1, but it's big enough to be featured. This is Star Wars number 25. This has been an issue a lot of people have been looking forward to. This is a celebration of the 25th issue of Charles Soule's run on Star Wars. You can see on the cover a little bit of what you're getting. This is going to be an anthology-style issue spanning the eras from the prequel era to the sequel era, with stories and artists who have worked on this series so far kind of coming in to lend their hand at it. It's a really cool cover here because you see all those different eras. You even see some characters you may recognize from the Obi-Wan show on there. Really cool. So we have stories from Obi-Wan and Anakin, Darth Vader, Poe Dameron, Kylo Ren, and I'm guessing probably a few surprises as well. This is our A cover. We have our CAMUNCOLI variant. We have our John Tyler Christopher action figure variant. We have our Kirby Pride variant. We have our Noto variant. There's a lot of variants for this. There's the Rosanus variant, the Slimy variant, and finally the Sprouse Choose Your Destiny variant.
So yeah, that makes 7 open order variants
Yes.
for this. So a lot to choose from, some pretty strong ones.
Yeah, you can usually tell how important they kind of consider an issue based on the number of variants and everything. I'm really looking forward to this, and it's interesting that this is they've chosen to do this kind of in the middle of the Crimson Reign thing. So it's like, hey, let's tell an important story right here.
This is Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. This is written
Count
by... Yes, count them. Are they all there? This is written by Jane Yang with art by Marcus To. So this is basically Shang-Chi has control of the Ten Rings, but that is so much power that it is definitely not going unnoticed. So every bounty hunter, assassin, and evil syndicate in the Marvel Universe is coming after him and to take the rings away from him. So it sounds like a fun, it seems to be an ongoing series. So if you are in need of more Shang-Chi in your life, here it is. We have some different covers. So this is a cover. And then this is the Art Germ variant. The Bachalo Hellfire Gala variant. They're still coming at you. and then the U variant.
And to clarify, I believe this is the same creative team that was on Shang-Chi.
Mhm.
Yes.
They just have started again at #1 now that he's got the 10 rings.
Yes.
So I read all that series. It was really cool. So looking forward to more of that. Okay, so up next we have other #1s. They aren't featured, but you may care even more about some of these. Who knows? So beginning with Death Rage #1. This is from Merc Publishing. They're a relatively new comic company. They actually did Miss Meow lately. And in fact, this character was in Miss Meow #1. That's the last place this character Death Rage was. He is a member of a team called the Mercs.
Oh,
so yeah,
fitting.
Merc Publishing, the Mercs. This is his origin. That's what this is going to be. This is a 6-issue miniseries that's going to tell the origin of Death Rage. So we've got the regular cover, which is by Tyler Kirkham, and then we have the Jeffrey Edwards variant for it.
And next up, we have a new Overwatch comic. This is Overwatch New Blood #1. This is going to be a 5-part miniseries, just in time for Overwatch 2 that will be coming out pretty soon. This is written by Ray Fox, and the art is by Irene Coe. And in this, Cole Cassidy, as you see on the cover, he is called to rejoin the Overwatch team. But after their destruction and everything, he doesn't think that they've been put together right. He thinks it's going to take more than just the original team to rebuild it. He's going to go find some new people. I think this is where we're going to get introduced to a lot of the new characters that are going to be in the game through this and learn some of their backstory. So very cool. We've got this A cover, and we have a Destined to Win cover.
So I actually wasn't aware Overwatch 2 is coming out soon. A lot of times when they have the comic series that go with the game, these are severely under order, and people come out of the woodwork once the game releases for more stuff. So you may want to order this one for sure with whatever store you purchase from.
This is She Bites. This is from Scout Comics. It is about main character Elsie Baker, who is a 135-year-old vampire trapped in a 9-year-old's body. So you can expect lots of images of like kids wanting to smoke and other bad things. So anyway, no, she is 135 years old. She deserves a drink or two, but she can't have it with all the adults constantly belittling her. So she hires a teenager to be her chaperone, and I'm guessing gonna get her to do things for her. Although I don't know how much a teenager will be able to do. So anyway, if that premise sounds interesting or exciting to you, sounds like it could be potential for a lot of fun. She Bites #1. Just the one cover.
It's just a good title.
Yeah.
And I like how with the B and the S, I mean, that's fangs. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so this sounds really interesting to me. This isn't just a one-shot. And you may say, when you hear the premise, you're going to be like, why just a one-shot? This is actually a prequel to a hit Audible series that I haven't heard of till now, but it sounds really good. So this is Impact Winter, just a one-shot. So the premise is, this is set on Earth a year after a comet has hit, and it has obscured the sun for a year. Well, during that time, you know, you and I, we know what would happen. Vampires rise up.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for their moment.
Of course.
So vampires rise up, and they've been attacking the Earth, and so you're with a last little holdout of survivors who are in a medieval castle. So that's their sort of last stands in a medieval castle against these vampires. So I think it sounds really awesome. And a one-shot story, one and done on that sounds great. This is from Travis Beecham, and Stephen Green is the artist. So that's what's up with Impact Winter one-shot.
And next up is a new Army of Darkness crossover. This is Army of Darkness versus Reanimator. I feel like those worlds actually go together pretty well. So in this, an archaeological dig uncovers a relic from the Army of Darkness universe, and it ends up in the hands of Herbert West, where now it's up to Ash to try to get it back, as Herbert West is kind of playing God with this new thing that he's found. You can even see on the cover, there's a couple of little ashes on that table as well. So, sounds pretty fun. This is just a mini-series, and this is our A cover from Fleeks. We have our Mitten variant. We have our Sudium variant.
That's just funny and horrifying.
It is. We have our Sager variant. There's a blank sketch cover variant. And the Hacer FOC variant.
Okay, next up is Flavor Girls. This one is from Boom Studios, and it is by creator and artist, I'm going to butcher her name, Loic Locatelli Kurunski, the creator of Persephone as well. So this is a new magical girl adventure series. It's all ages. For people who may have liked Sailor Moon or Power Rangers, this will be good for you. It's just a 3-part miniseries. Basically, our Flavor Girls are the fruit guardians of Earth. So find out all about their fun, cute adventures here with number 1.
Okay, so this is Florida Man number 1. Now, this hasn't been announced as a miniseries. I don't know if it's ongoing or mini. I think it may be a miniseries because this was originally a Kickstarter from publisher Chris Brawley, who is a Chattanooga native. He comes by our store. In fact, he gave me a copy of the graphic novel, and it's really funny and ridiculous. I mean, you can pretty much guess the premise. You know, you read all the headlines about this Florida man, and Florida man does this, and Florida man does that. It's always ridiculous, crazy. Well, this has been turned into a series of stories by Mike Barron. He actually wrote some books around this, and now he is turning this into a graphic novel with artist Todd Mulrooney is doing the art on this. And so that's kind of the premise. So although it was a Kickstarter, now it's coming out in individual issue format. And it's just sort of it describes itself as a laugh out loud, funny, and unapologetically offensive story that follows Gary and his girlfriend Crystal. I'm assuming Gary is the Florida man in this. So we got a few covers on this. This is just a regular cover by Mulrooney. Then here is the Salaza variant. some antics are ensuing already.
Yes.
And then this is the Florida variant.
Just straight up, Florida drew it.
That's what
the
it
whole
says.
state
Yeah,
created
the
it.
state came together and they drew it.
Okay, next up is our next installment of Man Goat and Bunny Man. That was a Zenescope series from a few months ago. It's a pretty funny story about these two monster hunters. In this one, they're going to be going back up against mutants, monsters, and Bunny Man madness. So, if you like the first one, if it sounds ridiculous, I'm guessing this you could probably also jump onto this one as well. We've got a couple of covers for this. This is the A cover, and we have the Riviero variant.
Next up is Two Gun Terror. This is a haunted Old West story, and it actually is a comic with 3 stories in one. They're black and white, and you have some like skeletal outlaws and things like that. So haunted Old West stories in Two Gun Terror. Yeah, pretty simple premise here. So have a few different covers. This is cover A. Then we have the Demons variant, and then the Dead Sheriff variant.
More things should have Dead Sheriff variants.
All right, so now we're going to get to cool covers and other comics. So this is going to be variants that we think are noteworthy. This is also going to be issue number 2s and 3s of recent series that you may have read and you need to be reminded to ask your store to subscribe you to. We're going to start off with a series that I've enjoyed immensely. In fact, issue number 2 came out this week, and I think it was my favorite read of the week. Awesome art. I just been telling everybody the art of the series is great. Which that's the interior artist Flaviano. That's the cover that he did right there. It is Grimm issue number 3. So in this one, we're following Grim Reaper Jess, and in this issue, her boss heavily penalizes her for having gone to the land of the living, having traveled there, which no Grim Reaper is supposed to do or able to do. But of course, that brings up the mystery of how is Jess able to go between the land of the dead and the land of the living. So she's getting in trouble for a power that she's not even supposed to have. So I'm hooked. I think this series is really awesome. So again, this is the Flaviano A cover. There is also a foil variant of this, but we didn't put a screen up because it looks the exact same.
Yeah.
They didn't have a way to make it look foil in the solicitation. So there's a foil variant of the regular cover. Then this is the Jenny Frison cover. This is one of the other Reapers who she's friends with. They all get to look however they want, and they're all from their different time. This guy clearly
He's a fan of
hair metal.
David Bowie and Labyrinth.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of that hair.
He's from the hair metal time.
Mm-hmm.
And so this also has a foil variant. So if you want that one, you may want to specifically ask your retailer for that. And then lastly, here is the third variant. This is the Lee variant.
Okay, next up is our third issue of Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. In this one, we find out more of the mysteries of Death Dealer, kind of why he's got this curse and everything. I actually talked with the editor of this yesterday. We had a meeting, and I told him how much I've enjoyed this series and how it's, to see a character who you think is just going to be a kind of a juggernaut of killing actually has a really nice story and a lot of character depth. And he told me there's some really cool stuff to come. I'm not going to give it away, but I think it's a great time to jump onto this if you have not read it yet. This is the Renaud cover. And of course, we have the Frazetta cover as well.
This is 8 Billion Genies number 3. So, interesting news. You may or may not have heard about this week unless you watch our Tuesday or Monday review show. A lot of stores, I would say probably the majority of stores, did not either get their issue number 2s or we were told to destroy the copies. We found out later that it was because it was printed too dark. The printer, according to the artist and creative team, it was just too dark, so they recalled them. So you may or may not have read issue number 2. Regardless, issue 3 is on the way. Those should be on the shelf this week if you did miss it. This issue is supposed to be exploring the first 8 days of the time period everybody gets their wishes, so see the world kind of remade by everyone's wishes and what that looks like. So, anyway, 8 Billion Genies number 3, this is cover A, and this is the Heron cover B.
You look at that and you're like, what do these people wish for?
Okay, also available to order this week is New Fantastic Four number 2. So, no, you didn't miss number 1 yet. It is not released. It's coming out soon, but now is the time to order number 2 already, like it or not. So, of course, New Fantastic Four team, it is Wolverine, Hulk, Ghost Rider, and Spider-Man. Awesome Fantastic Four team, by the way. And they're apparently in Las Vegas investigating a series of violence that has occurred there. Well, Human Torch joins them this issue, and the solicitation promises by the end of the issue, one of them will be a traitor. I mean, do you believe that? Wolverine, Hulk, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, Human Torch, none of them are going to be a traitor. I mean, it's going to be one of these situations where they're a traitor, but like for a better good or something. Yeah. So, but I love that they think they're going to trick us and telling us who's going to be a traitor amongst these 5 heroes. But anyhow, this is issue number 2, the regular cover.
With a couple of hotheads on it.
And then here is the Roche variant.
I don't know why this isn't just an ongoing thing. You just put these 4 characters together. This is the coolest team ever.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have our 3rd issue of Deadpool Bad Blood, which was originally in graphic novel form. They've broken it up into individual issues. And in this issue, Deadpool has a rematch with Thumper, the Canadian answer to the Winter Soldier.
Then we have the Alien Annual. Felt like it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Alien Annual number 1. This is the Shalvey variant for this. This is going to take place years before the Bloodline storyline when they do a trial run experiment with a xenomorph. So should be a good issue. Some stores will automatically pull annuals for you if you are on the series. Some may not, so good to let them know. Either way, if you want to get this, if you like the Alien series, there is an A cover, but this is the variant.
And here's another Predator variant for Avengers number 58. This is the Gist Predator variant. And this issue of Avengers, it says that they continue their quest through time, which that hasn't started yet. So I was reading that, I was like, how are they going through time? That's interesting. And in this one, they're going to be in Japan during the Edo period. So pretty interesting. Avengers in the Edo period of Japan. So again, this is the Just Predator variant. And then we have the Rob Liefeld Deadpool 30th anniversary variant.
Who would win, Blade or Predator? That's a tough matchup.
I'd put money on Blade, but that would be really good.
Okay, next up we have She-Hulk number 5. I was just saying, it feels like a while since we've had an issue of She-Hulk. I'm really loving this series, and in issue 5 claims this issue holds the first for Jen Walters, but what is that first going to be? Probably could be a lot of things, but read it and find out. This is our Jen Bartel A cover, and then we have our Jones variant, her and Jack of Hearts.
You know, she's been a lawyer this whole time. Maybe she gets to be a judge.
Oh, that
You know,
would be
instead
cool.
of Judge Judy, Judge She-Hulk. Imagine her banging that gavel and everything just smashing.
Next up is Iron Man number 21. In this issue, they are supposed to be introducing a new villain called Switchback. So you may want to be on the lookout for this one because of that. This is the cover A. Then we have the Hellfire Gala variant. And then the Unzueta variant. Oh, and this is, yeah, the Iron Man Hellcat.
Yep.
Okay, this is the D. Illis Predator variant for Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 40. So, Predator variant on this. And in this one, Miles is finally going to find his Uncle Aaron, but he is Selim's prisoner. And so he's going to have to take down Selim, take down the entire Empire of the Spider to be able to save his uncle. So that's what's going on in this issue.
I like also they both have cloaking abilities.
Oh, that's right.
So they're both fighting invisible. Okay, next up we have Darth Vader number 25. I don't know why they're not making a big deal of Darth Vader 25 when they're doing Star Wars 25. Maybe they're waiting for another anniversary. They don't want them to come out at the same time. But in this one, you have Sabe and Ochi must work together, the kind of unlikely team up, and Vader pursues a corrupt Imperial governor. So, sounds like a cool issue. And also, it's got some cool variants. So, we have our Rice variant. And we have our Sprouse. This is not the final art, but with Darth Krall on it, who was from pretty early on in the High Republic series. Cool to see him coming back on a cover. And then also we're talking about Han Solo and Chewbacca number 4. And you can see right there on the cover, this is going to be awesome. This is a Chewbacca-centric issue, and also the return of Black Chrysanthemum into the comics, I think for the first time since, first news story since his premiere in Book of Boba Fett. So, sounds really fun. This is our A cover, the Phil Noto cover. We have our Garen Pride variant. And then this one I think is going to be really big. Anything with Ahsoka on it. This is kind of our first time seeing the adult Ahsoka on a cover. This is our Sprouse Choose Your Destiny cover. Definitely don't want to miss this one. I feel like this one's going to sell out really fast.
And here we have Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood number 3. This is the Klein variant, number 3 of the just 4-part miniseries, and this will have 3 new tales in black, white, and red.
Okay, this is the Myers variant to Venom Lethal Protector number 4 of 5. You know, this is a story set back in the Venom Lethal Protector days, and Eddie has been through hell in this series, and the Venom symbiote is almost dead. That's kind of where we're at in the 4th issue of this. So again, this is the Myers variant.
Then we have King Spawn number 12. Always like to show these just because they always have great covers. And this one, it's the final battle between Spawn and Black Azrael. This is our Tan variant, or A cover, and then this is our Fernandez variant.
Then we have another issue number 25 anniversary. This one for an indie series, possibly one of the biggest indie series in a long, long time. Something is Killing the Children, number 25. What a milestone for this series. So this is, they noted that 2 million copies of this have been sold throughout its run.
Wow.
So pretty impressive. Lots of going to multiple printings with the number 1. Super high in value for that first print, if any of you were lucky enough to get it. But anyway, in this, someone that Erica once saved will have to come back and maybe return the favor for her in this issue. This is the cover A. And then we continue with our die-cut masks variants. We have the regular one and then the bloody version.
Alright, so this is Sonic the Hedgehog issue number 51. This, of course, follows the monumental issue number 50. So this is just the regular cover on this. And here is the Lied variant for Sonic number 51.
Then we have TMNT number 131. This takes place after the Armageddon game opening moves one-shot. And Shredder is now working with the Turtles. Can he really do that? Can he be trusted? And it seems like he's going to try to contact maybe the ghost of Splinter. We'll have to see. But sounds really cool. This is our A cover. And then we have our Eastman variant.
And then we just wanted to show you this fun cover for Vampirella Strikes number 3. This is the cover D Caldwell variant. Really kind of fun, yet also creepy with all those eyeballs in the background.
I don't want to know what it feels like laying on eyeballs that are the size of beach balls.
No, me neither.
Okay, so this is the Ruth variant for Belit and Valeria, issue number 3. You got the two she-pirates who are adventuring together. There's also this Bushimi homage variant.
Yeah, it's a fun homage, the Batman homage.
Yep. And now we're going to get to other printings and graphic novels.
Starting with, I made this cover, by the way. This is Fortnite x Marvel Zero War number 1 of 5, second printing. So actually the cover for this is not ready. It's the Davila variant, but I made this cover because you do not get the skin with this one. It does not come with the code. So that's why I made this, to show you no Spider-Man for you if you missed out on the other one. Hopefully you got it first print, so you got that code, but didn't want you to slip up and say, oh, I missed it. I'm going to get the second printing so I can get it. It is not in here. But if you do just want to read the story, here you go. This will be a good way to do that. But kind of a public service announcement that there is no code in this one.
Very interesting choice for them to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is Ghost Cage trade paperback from Image. This is $16.99, collecting the 3-part black and white mini-series. It's for fans of Akira or other manga, heavy action, over-the-top action manga. If you like that, then you may want to check out Ghost Cage.
All right, so we got 2 Spawn trade paperbacks that are available this week. The first one is Gunslinger Spawn Volume 1. So if you missed some of the comic or you want to have it all to read and not mess up your nice individual issues, this is issues 1 through 6, so the first 6 issues, and it's only $9.99.
It's great.
I know, $10 for that. So once again, Mr. McFarlane keeping things, keeping the prices good.
I'd say defying the entire industry with his prices.
So $9.99, and then there is Spawn Compendium Volume 3. And this is only $59.99 for 1,136 pages of Spawn. This is going to cover issues 101 through 150 of Spawn, some of which has never been collected in anything ever
I was about
before.
to say, that's kind of the reason I put this on here, because if you collected the Origins, they stopped before this. Every kind of collected edition of Spawn has stopped right before this. So this is uncharted territory for some people, because these are also very expensive books if you're trying to buy them individually.
Some of them have been reprinted, but not in full color. In this, they're full color, and then some have never been reprinted. So pretty awesome that it's finally getting its day in the sun. So
and that price.
Yeah, $59.99 for a lot, like 50 issues of Spawn. So.
Okay, then we have this Silver Surfer by Dan Slott and Mike Allred omnibus. If you've never read this and you're a fan of Doctor Who, just imagine those two combined, because Silver Surfer teams up with an Earth girl named Dawn Greenwood, who's essentially kind of like the companion to Silver Surfer. They go to wacky planets, have adventures and everything, as she kind of teaches him to see the universe through a less powerful celestial eyes and more through a human eyes. So if you've never read this, it's a super cool series. This collects Silver Surfer from 2014 1 through 15 and the 2016 volume 1 through 14, plus material from all new Marvel Now .1. This is $100. This is our direct market cover. and then we have a wraparound cover, both by Mike Allred.
All right, and that's it for this week.
We really appreciate you watching. Please take a second to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on Instagram, whatnot, and everywhere that comics and entertainment can be found. Maybe not everywhere. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and we will see you again soon.